it's
But
very
professionally wise,
exciting.
we get into travel, like professionally wise, so you have covered the X Games, you've worked at the French Open,
Yes.
you've traveled for work all these different places as a sports reporter, as a TV host. Do you have one of those experiences that really stands out for you?
I remember thinking about this when you had asked me about it.
Did you do the Olympics? No.
I did the Olympics.
In China?
In Vancouver.
Vancouver.
Yeah, I went to the World Cup when I sent you the scarf. But
Right.
in Vancouver, Olympics was really really fun. That was one of like my milestones of things that I wanted to accomplish. So in summer, that's like on the goals list, but on the bucket list. But I think beyond the sports thing, one of my favorites that what were you saying about what of the
Yeah, like where you were, impression, like something
sports or just more?
as a professional, so working in one of those like cities.
Oh, well, working Plastic Paradise.
Well, we'll get into Plastic Paradise in a second, but like as a reporter, so you're at the French Open, you're at, in amazing places that have that sports history. So whether it is like the French Open, or it's at the X Games, or it's Vancouver.
I was in Australia for the Olympics in 2000, and that was as a fan.
Wow.
It was before the professional career, and I said, I don't know when I'm going to get to the Olympics, but I really want to work one of these Olympics.
So you created that ahead of time.
I fully had a plan. I had like a multi-decade plan. I was like, this one I did this time, and then I want to go to China for Beijing. And like, I feel like the Olympics is one of those events that so brings the complete world together, and that was one of my focuses, was to do one of those.
That and the World Cup. Angela did give me a scarf from the World Cup 2006.
2006.
In Germany. So, and like I said, I've known Angela almost 12 years. Backstories, I actually used to represent Angela. I was her agent once upon a time. That's her story. And actually, I worked like heck to try and get her on NBC for the 2008
Yes, for the
Olympics in Beijing, which didn't work apparently. But you would have been great.
I mean, again, I think that, whatever, there's so many of these like travel codes and stuff that I love, and one is, going down your own path and like blazing your own path. You don't go where there is a path to go, where there's no path, there's no trail.
Yeah.
Right? Be that trailblazer. And so in the opportunity as a professional, I've been able to go that route, which is very amazing, and I'm very thankful and grateful for that, but also, just as a person who seeks adventure in life and is all about YOLO and what is it? Live your best life is the latest hashtag phenomenon.
As a professional, you're awesome. I mean, you're great at what you do. 65 countries?
I think I'm going more now.
Really? Where do you still want to go?
I'm going to Bali next.
Finally going to Bali.
Finally, after like.
I feel like every time we have this conversation, like, I'm going to Bali.
Yeah.
So you finally going to Bali.
Yes.
All right, cool.
Went to Italy.
Where's the one place you tell people to go?
The one that people ask me about the most is Hawaii, because I've gone so many times. So they go to Hawaii probably like 4 to 6 times a year.
Okay.
So I know every single island like the back of my hand and tell you exactly where to go and what your budget is and what you need to do. And I always tell people to go there because depending on their budget and stuff, it's easy. But the top one place it may sound cliche, but Bora Bora is actually really that magnificent. It's a little slice of heaven on earth if you can do it. I was fortunate, actually that's the one thing that left a huge impression on my mind was Bora Bora for work, but like twice to cover the Liquid Festival for Iron Mana, which is like this crazy waterman festival for a couple days. I mean, I got paid to go there, and it was from the Tahiti Tourism Board and all this stuff, and like I was just interviewing people about their, paddleboarding, surf ski, and all the different kind of festivities. But
That's terrible.
so I would say Bora Bora is the best place to go, even though it's kind of Bora Bora and Aitutaki and Cook Islands. Those are my two.
What does travel mean to you?
Travel to me, it's funny, I saw that question too, and travel to me is it's kind of like a state of being, like you just do, it's like breathing. So to me, we're always traveling. I mean, we literally traveled for an hour, 45 minutes to get here. A lot of us did. You're always traveling in life, so it's kind of just a state of being. It doesn't matter where you are. It's about, I was telling my roommate yesterday, I was like, I'm such a tourist in my own hometown. Like, I take photos every day of the sunset, and it never gets old.
Well, you
Never.
do that, and I really appreciate that about you. And like even these pictures, so you love your little jumping pictures.
Oh,
Like the middle one, like you're at Half Dome. So Yosemite, whether it's in Santa Monica, you're going to see a sunset, or you're going to Yosemite, wherever it is, you always have such a joy and excitement for being there, being present. So to me, it's like the travel with meaning moment. It's like present to that magic of that awesomeness of where you are, and you totally just exude that everywhere you travel.
Thank you.
What about lessons? What lessons have you learned from traveling?
So many lessons. One of the ones is don't get into. I know now we literally, back in the day when you used to, your parents used to say like, don't get in cars with strangers, and we literally now summon people who are strangers and get in their cars via Uber and Lyft. But I was traveling back pre-Uber Lyft times, and I would say you would think you'd be smart enough to not get into random strangers' cars, but when you're on a mission to go see a black panther in Khao Sok National Forest in Thailand, and I just had to go do it as an idiot 21-year-old, and got in a dodgy situation which could have ended really bad, but
Did you see the panda?
did not, because it was dark.
Okay.
It was black.
Yeah.
They probably would have eaten me.
But
Don't jump into people's cars that you don't know. I mean, like just, common sense stuff, but also like life lessons wise, traveling as a girl is very different. Girl, woman, lady, whatever. You have to be more on guard about certain things. You can't, you just have to think about different things that guys wouldn't ever have those scenarios, especially if you're solo traveling too. So learning a lot of life lessons that way that are more just, smart, sensical things to do. But I think one of the things, like you were saying, it's like the best schooling, it's the best education is connecting with locals, being part of things. I think we all embrace that. We all have had those experiences, why we're here and why we find the meaning in our travel.
Absolutely. Now you're a big water person, which led you to want to do the movie. But what Plastic Paradise? We want to get into that. I want to show a quick little trailer of that as well. But for you, like, what was the reasoning? Like, what happened, and how did you hear about this garbage patch? So
I'm a scuba diver, surfer, and always loved the oceans. Always wanted to be around the oceans. And I would see plastic trash like surfing and scuba diving, and I heard about this Great Pacific Garbage Patch. What is this crazy thing? Is it an island in the ocean?
Does anybody know about this? Do you know about the garbage patch? Okay,
so now it's kind of better in social consciousness, but at that time it was 2009 that we went out there, but I learned about it in 2005, and I was like, what is this? This is crazy. And so I was out of a passionate curiosity. I sought out to learn more. So it was literally just being curious. Like, I had no idea what I was doing. Like, I think most of us in life were like just kind of wandering and kind of figuring things out. I mean, I knew, obviously, I was like, I'm going to the Olympics, I'm going to work that.
But you're a reporter, you're a journalist, you're like, I'm going to do this. You're very focused. What you want to do, you're doing it, which is now turned into an award-winning documentary filmmaker. Which is pretty.
But I was like, yo, I don't know what I'm doing. I am like as clueless as anybody else.
Nobody really knows what they're doing. They just were doing it though. And so you went, we're going to show a trailer in a second. Before we do that, because I put these pictures up.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Is this Morocco? You like falconry?
Oh, falconry. We were doing that in Dubai.
That's crazy.
So I did a mileage run, because this was before they changed all the miles deal. And you could get 20,000 miles. Like I got a cheap ticket to Dubai, whatever. I was there for 24 hours and was like, let's go falconry.
Angela, literally, you talk to her every other day. She's like, I'm going to Morocco. She's always just going somewhere. Okay, so you went to Dubai.
Yeah, so that was 24 hours in Dubai. We did some like off-roading.
That's the French Open.
That's the French Open, and that's Machu Picchu in Peru.
All right, but your work, so the middle one is at least work.
The middle one is work, yes. So I like to meld work and play. So I'm always like play your work and work and play. And always tag on at the back end if you can, and then try to. I always tell people who do work in this industry of like on-camera stuff too, and hosting or presenting is the work is never the work. It's getting the work. That's the work. The job is never the job.
Right.
The job is getting the work and the hustle.
Cutting through all the other stuff to actually get there.
The job itself, the actual physical doing of the job is the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
So if you look at it that way, when people always ask me, like, what are you doing with your life? Like, what are you doing are you in the off season? Like, I'm like, I'm just chilling. Like, there's no point in like fronting what you're doing or what you're not doing, because you're just doing all the time. Like, you're always hustling, you're always creating.
Well said.
Always thinking.
Well said. So basically, once you get there, then it's kind of like, yeah, this is what I did.
Yeah, and I think at the same time, like, we define ourselves so much by what we do, work-wise, and I think there's these societal norms of where we should be in life and what we should have at this point in our lives, or whatever point you are in your life. Like, oh, by this time it should be this, and this time it should be
It's
this.
that should work, huh?
Yeah, and it's not, I think all of us kind of creatives or people who are in these industries or even people who seek to be passionately curious about whatever topics you learn or want to learn about, like, just don't adhere to that, and it's okay.
I know this, played a big part with you being a water person, someone who's curious, someone who really wants to make a difference. Did you learn anything from that? You went on and showed, you screened this, I think you read something like 40 film festivals.
Yeah, so many film festivals. I think we won like, I don't really count it, but like 13 awards or something. Ended up doing like a TEDx talk about it, like sold it to Netflix and to Pivot TV when it was around. It was sold to Italy, Sweden, Canada,
Is there a follow-up to
Australia,
this?
New Zealand. I'd like to. I definitely don't want to do it on my own, so if anyone wants to collaborate, I'm really open. I would like to. I feel like it was such a crazy learning curve of like literally birthing a baby out to the world, and just understanding everything from like from a business standpoint, right? It's basically building a widget, like a product at the end, not meaning to really. It's the IP, right? But then really, what was really impactful and hit home for me was speaking with students and speaking at these schools and being fired up or getting letters from people, and they're just like, oh my God, like I see it everywhere now or whatever, or like I changed my major and now I want to go to this because of this, and I didn't think that it could have that impact. So I just feel like an accidental activist. So if I could do it, I feel like anybody else can do it if there's anything you were thinking of possibly like tinkering with.